The story takes place in a small village in Ukraine. Mykola lives here with his wife Nastia. Their life is simple and peaceful. Mykola works as a math teacher in a nearby school. He is calm-natured and avoids conflict. His wife, Nastia, is an artist who carves small wooden sculptures. Both of them live happily in their small house, away from the noise of the outside world. One day at school, Mykola hears news that Russia has launched an attack on Ukraine. Several areas have been captured, and many soldiers have died. This is shocking for him, but he does not understand how close the danger is. When Mykola returns home in the evening, he receives good news. His wife tells him that she is pregnant. Mykola becomes very happy. They celebrate this moment together, knowing their family is about to grow. The next morning, Mykola leaves for school on his bicycle after saying goodbye to his wife. While traveling, he sees two soldiers on the road. Their uniforms look unfamiliar, not like Ukrainian military uniforms. Mykola assumes that perhaps the uniforms have been changed and does not think much about it. When he reaches the school, he finds the classrooms empty. None of the students have come. He turns on the television in the school office and sees breaking news confirming that Russian soldiers have entered deep into Ukrainian territory. He realizes the soldiers he saw earlier were Russian soldiers. Now worried about his wife, he immediately gets on his bicycle and rushes back home. However, when Mykola reaches his house, it is too late. He sees the same two Russian soldiers assaulting his wife. Mykola tries to stop them, but the soldiers beat him as well. He begs them to stop and tells them his wife is pregnant, but they ignore him. After searching the house and finding nothing valuable, they set the house on fire. As the soldiers begin to leave, Nastia picks up a stone and tries to fight back. In response, one of the soldiers shoots her, killing her instantly. Mykola holds his wife in his arms as she dies. He cries, unable to process what has happened. His home is burned, his wife is gone, and the child he was expecting to welcome is gone as well. Hours later, two Ukrainian soldiers arrive in the village. They see Mykola's wife and feel sympathy for him. They dig a grave and ask Mykola to bury his wife. After the burial, Mykola is emotionally broken and filled with grief. He has lost everything, his family and his home. At this moment, a strong desire for revenge develops in him. He wants to find and kill the Russian soldier who shot his wife. To do this, he decides to join the Ukrainian army. Mykola requests the two soldiers to take him with them. Before leaving, Mykola picks up one of his wife's carved wooden sculptures and carries it with him as a reminder of her. At the military base, the commanding officer initially refuses to recruit him. He suspects that Mykola could be a spy. However, after hearing Mykola's full story and understanding his motivation, the officer agrees to let him join the army. Mykola's training begins the next day. Since he has no military background and has never used a firearm before, the training is difficult for him. While other soldiers assemble and disassemble guns quickly, Mykola is much slower. The officer doubts whether Mykola can ever become a proper soldier. But Mykola continues to practice and does not give up. One night during training, Mykola tells the officer that he wants his codename to be Raven. The soldiers laugh because codenames must be earned by proving significant skill or bravery. Mykola takes this as motivation and keeps working harder. During training, the commander announces that the army needs more snipers. He asks who wishes to train as a sniper. Several soldiers volunteer, including Mykola. The officer doubts him and challenges him to assemble a gun in 20 seconds. To everyone's surprise, Mykola ties a cloth over his eyes and assembles the gun in 18 seconds. His speed impresses everyone. The officer allows him to join sniper training. However, Mykola is given an older rifle, while others receive modern weapons. The instructor says that if Mykola wants a better rifle, he must prove he is worthy of it. Training progresses. Snipers learn that they must hold their position without moving, no matter the situation. During one drill, shots are fired near the trainees to see who flinches. Mykola remains steady and passes the test. In another exercise, snipers are briefly shown a target, and then must shoot it blindfolded. Mykola misses his shot because his old rifle is inaccurate. Everyone realizes that if he had a modern weapon, he would have hit the target correctly. A final night exercise requires snipers to shoot targets using the light of a flare. Most soldiers fail. Mykola does not shoot immediately. He uses his knowledge of mathematics to calculate the distance and angle, then fires one accurate shot and hits his target. This impresses everyone, including the officer. Mykola earns his codename, Raven. After earning his codename Raven, Mykola continues to train with dedication. Slowly, he becomes one of the reliable snipers in the group. A few days later, The colonel visits him and informs him that they must leave for their first mission. Russian soldiers have taken control of a checkpoint, and the Ukrainian forces need to reclaim it. Mykola and his team travel to the location and take positions. The colonel instructs everyone to wait and observe before firing. Soon, a civilian vehicle approaches the checkpoint. The Russian soldiers stop the car and check the passengers' documents. Although the passengers have valid documents, the soldiers still beat them and take their passports. Seeing innocent people being mistreated, the colonel gives the order to fire. Mykola and the other snipers shoot simultaneously. The Russian soldiers are taken down quickly and efficiently. The mission is successful. After returning to the base, Mykola notices that many soldiers from the base are missing. He asks about them and learns that they were sent to another mission. Later, Mykola receives terrible news. Most of those soldiers have been killed by a Russian sniper named Siri. Siri is known as one of Russia's best snipers. His accuracy is unmatched, and he has already killed several highly skilled Ukrainian snipers. This information increases tension among the Ukrainian forces. They know they must be cautious. Despite the situation, Mykola and his team continue with their next mission. During the next operation, they set landmines along a path and take positions. After a while, Russian soldiers arrive. When the colonel gives the order to fire, instead of shooting directly, Mykola aims at one of the landmines. The mine explodes, and all the Russian soldiers are killed. The team returns to the base. The colonel and Mykola spend time together and develop trust. The colonel tells Mykola about his family. He has 2 daughters who believe he works in business, not the military. He has kept the truth hidden to protect them from worrying. Mykola, in return, shares the story of his wife's death. The colonel supports him and assures him that he is not alone. The next morning, Mykola and the colonel leave for another important mission. They receive intelligence that a group of Russian soldiers will soon move through a specific route. Mykola and the colonel set up positions and wait. Soon, 2 Russian soldiers appear. Mykola recognizes one of them immediately. He is the soldier who shot his wife. The person Mykola has been searching for this whole time is now directly in his scope. Mykola requests permission to shoot. The colonel refuses. He explains that shooting now will reveal their position and put the mission at risk. Mykola, however, is unable to control his emotions. In that moment, Mykola makes a decision on his own. He fires. The soldier who killed his wife is shot and dies instantly. But the sound of the gunshot alerts the Russian forces nearby. The colonel realizes what has happened and understands the danger. Before they can reposition, Siri, the Russian sniper, takes aim. The colonel tries to locate him, but Siri fires first. The colonel is shot in the head and dies immediately. Mykola realizes the consequences of his emotional decision. With Russian troops now aware of his location, explosions and gunfire begin. Mykola picks up the colonel's body and retreats under heavy fire. He manages to escape and reach the base safely. At the base, Mykola is overwhelmed with guilt. He knows that his personal desire for revenge caused the colonel's death. Mykola makes another vow. He promises that he will kill Siri, no matter what it takes. Soon after, Mykola receives information that 2 Russian snipers are stationed nearby. He goes on a mission to locate them. During the encounter, he kills 1 sniper. However, the second sniper shoots Mykola in the arm. Despite being injured, Mykola manages to kill him as well. Exhausted and wounded, Mykola moves to a hidden safe location to recover. During this time, the Major contacts him. The Major informs him that they have located Siri. Mykola returns to the base to receive the details of the new mission. The Major assembles the soldiers and explains the situation. The Russian sniper Siri is positioned in a strategic location and has been killing Ukrainian snipers one by one. So far, Siri has killed 6 of Ukraine's most skilled snipers. To defeat Siri, the Ukrainian soldiers must coordinate carefully. The Major forms 2 teams. The first team will attack the Russian soldiers from the front. The second team, including Mykola, will use the distraction to enter the building from behind. During the briefing, the Major states clearly that the priority of this mission is to eliminate Siri. The teams leave and move toward the target location. They travel quietly to avoid detection. When they arrive, they spread out and take their positions. Mykola enters the building slowly and carefully. In one room, he finds 2 Russian soldiers who are talking casually and not paying attention. Mykola takes the opportunity and silently eliminates both of them. Then he continues deeper inside the building. Once Mykola is in position, he signals the first team. The first team begins their attack from the front. Meanwhile, Siri notices that the building is unusually quiet. Normally, soldiers would report their positions and movement to him, but no one has contacted him. This makes Siri suspicious. He decides to move to the rooftop to get a better view and understand what is happening. On the rooftop, Siri finds a Russian sniper stationed there. However, when he gets closer, he sees that the sniper has already been killed. This confirms his suspicion that Ukrainian forces have infiltrated the building. Siri contacts his backup team and requests immediate support. The backup team tells him they will take 10 minutes to arrive. Siri understands that he must defend his position until help arrives. Siri returns to his usual shooting position and prepares to locate the Ukrainian soldiers outside. But then, before Siri can react, Mykola attacks him from behind and successfully stops Siri by stabbing him multiple times. Siri dies in the confrontation. However, the situation is not over. There is still one more Russian sniper on a lower floor. This sniper becomes alert after hearing noise from the rooftop. Before he can react or attack, Mykola throws a grenade into his position. The grenade explodes, killing the last sniper inside the building. Outside, Siri's backup team arrives. They do not know that Siri and the other snipers have already been killed. They try to make radio contact with Siri. Mykola picks up Siri's communication device and answers the call. He tells the backup team that they are all going to die. Then he shoots the driver of the truck bringing the reinforcements. The truck stops suddenly, and the Russian soldiers jump out in confusion. But they do not realize that the Ukrainian snipers outside are already waiting for them. The Ukrainian forces eliminate them efficiently. With the mission complete, Mykola steps outside the building and looks around. The mission has succeeded. Siri is dead, and the Russian backup forces have been neutralized. A few days later, Mykola visits his wife's grave. He stands there quietly. He has fulfilled the promise he made. He places the wooden sculpture back on the ground near the grave. With this, the story ends. If you liked this video, then I highly recommend these two videos on your screen.